What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Ikram TV. The topic for today is one of my Facebook posts. So I posted a saying from the Prophet, peace be upon him. If a husband calls his wife to bed to have sex, and she refuses and causes him to sleep in anger, the angels will curse her till morning. So obviously, as soon as I post this, all the feminists are gonna get wild out here. So one of them comes on, and then she's like, wait, do you believe this? Okay. And then this is going to be an interesting conversation, as you might assume. So here we go. I'm just going to read it out. Then I'm like, okay, yes, it's an obligation, just like how men have an obligation to protect and provide, women have too. So she's like, sex is an obligation. I'm like, 100%. That's the reason most men get married, and not for her personality. And then so she's like, so no marrying for love, instead marry for sex, and that isn't going to end well. Bear in mind, all of this is coming from a single woman who neither has a relationship, nor a marriage, nor kids, nor anything at all. Okay? So another friend of mine, he's like, if not do that with her, he might do that with many other girls, and then maybe he will have HIV, so it's very dangerous. So I'm like, okay, yeah. Then she's like, so what if she wants to do it, but he doesn't? What then? If he is too tired, should she go to other men? It's always this argument. How many times do I need to tell you women? If a key opens many locks, it's a master key. If there's a lock which can be opened by every key, that's a useless lock. So I'm like, men born with sex and women born with words. Men and women are not the same. If she doesn't want to do, it is completely okay, because there are plenty of women who will do it, and he can have multiple wives for that same reason. Too many incompetent wives, which is the reality of the world right now. You ask any married man and how unhappy he is sexually in his life, it's horrible. So then she's like, I do worry for any woman you are in a relationship with. This is very backwards thinking. Relationships should be about keeping each other happy, not just one-sided. Now, this is the typical thing that men have to deal with. Women try to shame men for being men and speaking the truth about what it is. We didn't make ourselves like this. God made us like this. I'm like, every woman that has been with me has been extremely happy. I said benchmarks so high, mere mortals cannot even imagine. However, your comment sounds more like a projection of yourself. If keeping each other happy is what's necessary, then you're in contradiction, because what you actually want to say is just keep the woman happy, and men's happiness doesn't matter. So she's like, oh, so why has no woman stayed with you? I'm like, women didn't stay in paradise. Do you think they can be content on earth? So then she's like, I don't have time to have a partner because I spend all my time and my energy on rescuing animals. So I have not dated for a while because I know I don't have the time to give someone the energy they need for me helping animals. Will always come before trying to satisfy someone else's sex drive, as you put it. Bear in mind, I didn't ask her for why she's single or whatever it is, right? Or maybe I did. No. Anyway, so she's just justifying herself. That's okay. I think you mean they don't like your personality, so they just want a one night stand. I never said I do one night stands anyway, but their goals to try and shame men however way possible. I'm like, oh, they love it and everything that comes with it. So tell me again why you're single. Okay, now I ask her why she's single. This one night stand sounds like a projection again. However, even if that was true, still hit though. We all know what it is. If a knife falls on a watermelon or a watermelon falls on a knife, it's always the watermelon which gets damaged, not the knife. I told you I'm not looking for a partner because I have no time to build a relationship. Not that I asked often, but my heart is in rescuing innocent souls, not in finding and building a relationship. So I'm like, so you just admitted that you can't multitask. Saving animals is always a great thing to do, which requires a lot of time, effort, and energy. If you want to make a man happy, it only takes a few minutes, but each to their own. She's like, a few minutes says a lot about yourself, ha ha ha. I'm like, I wasn't talking about me, but I was talking about men in general. Most men only need a few minutes. It's women who cannot focus and cannot bust a nut. And then she's like, sure. I'm like, but then again, if God himself didn't care about a female orgasm, men shouldn't even waste their time on it. So she's like, did God mention a male orgasm in detail? I'm sorry, I don't follow all the tellings of all gods in the world. I don't believe that one is better than the other. So many contradicting teachings from each one of them. Who is to say who is right and who is wrong? I believe I live by my beliefs in equal. Everyone is equal, and you can live in yours believing that you are above all women. Woe be to any human who unfortunately falls for it and gets brought up into a cycle of abuse, and that you accept and perpetrate. Throughout the whole conversation, I didn't say anything about oppressing anybody. No, we don't do that. So I'm like, yes, only because one orgasm is required to create life, which is a man's. No, we're not equals. That's all just a feminist lie along with everything else. And then somebody's like, I like the lock anal OG. So I'm like, come on. You have all the time. You've written essays over essays here. This is all that you wanted to say. Sounds like a few words, but it's not. Oh, bro, it's still going on, man. How much has this woman written on my wall? Crazy. Okay, yeah, let's just end this video by saying men get married for sex, women get married for security. But post-marriage, women have all the security, men do not have the sex. Always remember, 1:4 if you're a Muslim. One husband, 4 wives. Don't come in here talking about lesser than man talk, you know? Don't give me that bullshit. I want to only keep one woman happy in my life. All of that nonsense, keep it to yourself. And your ancestors must be really proud of it.